Hello fellow brawlers, I'm Kyle Simon. It is time to brawl. Today we're taking a look at a special episode, Robo Rumble Steel Junction Strategy Guide, so that you can learn how to maximize your tickets and earn absolutely as much gold as possible. My record is 7 minutes and 32 seconds with unmaxed brawlers, and as you can see in this video, I earned over 2200 gold in one match simply because we just killed it. Hope you enjoy! Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It's definitely a great one. Brawl Slayer, one of the guys that I'm playing here right here, was the one that suggested the strategy to me. He had some really great success with it, and he was like, hey, let's check this out. Now, Brawl Slayer and Pig Rider, both of them are finalists in the 1v1 tournament that Lex and I hosted over on his channel. You're definitely going to want to go check that out. We're going to be doing future 1v1 tournaments, collaborations just like that in the future. So definitely some great content to take a look at. Now, Brawl Slayer and Pig Rider, both really fantastic brawlers here. This is his strategy. Basically what you do is you have on this map for Steel Junction is you have Colt kind of go right up to exactly where he's at right there, kind of just below that line, that horizontal line with that cactus on the left, and then you've got Barley behind him and then Ricochet behind him. Now, the way that the bots spawn is actually different than the last time we played Robo Rumble. Which big shout out to Coach Corey for figuring out exactly how you could position your brawlers so that all the robots would spawn in one spot. Huge shout out to him. That was absolutely fantastic, but that is no longer going to work. So it's going to be interesting to see if brawlers are going to be able to, or if players are going to be able to get up to 10 minutes like he was able to on his video back there. For right now, you maximize your rewards at somewhere between 7 minutes and 15 seconds or 7 minutes and 20 seconds, somewhere around there. So the goal is to try and get to that point, and using this technique, especially if you have max brawlers, I think you should be able to do it pretty consistently. Now, as far as how this is going to work out, the bots no longer will spawn near your safe, so you can push up as far forward as you need to. They're all going to spawn a little bit further. They're going to spawn on the backside. Now, how they spawn, that's kind of a predetermined pattern that it looks like the game randomizes through. At least that's what I've noticed. So basically that's what you want to take advantage of, is all of you guys being pushed forward far enough that if you have bots that are spawned on the left, then they will go, rather than going down towards the safe, they'll go up around the top to their closest target, that Colt, so that you can just line them up and do as much damage as possible. Here you can see how this is working out. Works out really well. 7 minutes on this match, not quite the 7 minutes and 32 seconds that I have for my record, but still really solid, and earns 38 coins. We were able to get 7 minutes like 4 times in a row or something like that, simply because the strategy is so strong. Now, I did want to go over some really good tips. First of all, round 1, don't just run up into position round 1, because there is a chance that some of the bots will spawn on the left side and they'll go down to the left. I've had it happen where the safe ended up being down to like 70% right at the very beginning, simply because we all just went into position. Make sure you take a look and take out those bots on round 1 really, really fast, and then get into position. Next tip is to save your super for boss rounds. Now, a boss happens every 7 rounds. 7, 14, and then 21. After 21 rounds, the bosses will stop spawning. They just don't come anymore. So you just have to focus on those bots. As far as what you're going to want to do is you want to take out the bot as fast as absolutely possible, because then you have to get back into position by the time the next bots show up. If they show up and you're not into position, then they will go to the left and to the right, and it's almost impossible to fix that situation and get back into position before those rounds. We were luckily that happened here soon enough. We were able to get that worked out. Colt was able to get right there, so we were all set there. But that's basically what you want to do. Now, once 6 minutes happens, basically, as soon as one of the 3 of you get taken out, that's GG. It's once one brawler at 6 minutes and on is taken out, you're just lacking enough damage per second that it's just going to be impossible for you to really catch up and get back into position. So you definitely need to make sure that every one of you is focusing hardcore on dodging those sniper shots. That's enemy number 1, those sniper shots. Then you also have to make sure that you are doing enough damage to actually get rid of the bots. Now, if you're playing as Colt, Colt, obviously, he starts out in the front, just behind that cactus to the left, like I mentioned. His goal is to be focusing on those runners and those melees, those boxer brawlers. Focusing on those is going to allow Rico and Barley to really take out those snipers. Because Colt's range is about equal to those snipers' shots, he does have to get in there close enough to them to fire, which does make it dangerous for him, which is why Rico and Barley, who Rico can shoot a little bit further, can target them without getting in the line of fire, and then Barley doesn't have to be going in a straight shot like that. That's why Colt's main focus is to get rid of those brawlers, or those melee and runner brawlers. Another tip and trick to Colt is to try not use your super on those cactuses. It's not the end of the world if you do, but those cactuses do help kind of push some bots into specific positions, and is a tactical advantage for your team. But it's not a big deal if you do miss. Now, if you're playing as Barley, one of the things that you want to do, obviously you want to stay right behind Colt. Fire around at that corner, at the top of that big pillar in the center there, as bots are coming around, so that you're able to basically get all of the bots right there. That's like a huge place for you to be able to do that. You're the only one that can be attacking more than one bot at a time with your regular attack, and so that's very important for you. Because Colt and Rico have to shoot in a straight line in order to get rid of those sniper bots, and those sniper bots also shoot in a straight line, they're more susceptible to getting hit from those sniper bots if they're attacking him. So that means that it is Barley's job to really focus on getting rid of those sniper bots, if at all possible. Sometimes you do get those melee bots get in the way of doing that, so you can't, but if there's ever a situation where you can land a hit on those sniper bots, make sure you're focusing your fire on them as Barley. Now, when it comes to the main boss, Barley is huge and very important for getting rid of those bosses as quickly as possible, simply because you can put all shots of that super basically in one spot right before the boss starts letting off his rockets, and if you're able to do that, then you're going to do tons of damage to that boss, and getting rid of the bosses is super important so that you can get back into position before you continue on. One thing you definitely want to do as Barley is take advantage of those walls, so that if your team is being pushed back, you go behind the wall and you can still deal damage to those sniper bots while your teammates are kind of falling back and maybe taking care of those melee bots. Lastly, if you're playing as Ricochet, then you're going to want to make sure you stay back far enough so that you can just see around that corner of that big long column in the center. You want to make sure you can see around that corner so that you know when enemy bots are going to be coming around there, so that you can let that fire rip. Now, you do that and you focus on taking care of those snipers from as long of a distance as you possibly can. The one thing to Ricochet is you do want to make sure that you're using his angled shots, shooting off of walls and bouncing them, so that you can get rid of snipers without getting in line of fire. Barley should really be focusing on attacking those snipers, but Ricochet is really great at kind of generalizing and focusing on anything that he really needs to, and using his angled shots is really important and helpful in getting rid of those snipers, especially using that wall for cover. One big thing with Ricochet, make sure that you are going behind that wall for cover when your team is being pushed back and angling those shots off of there. You can just hold it there, make sure that you're hitting those correctly, and then you'll be all set. When you're playing Ricochet, it's important for you to make sure that you're attacking whichever bot seems the most threatening. In my opinion, the sniper bots really are the biggest key factor of whether your team is going to win or lose. Your ability to dodge those sniper shots is absolutely huge, because like I said, after about 6 minutes, as soon as somebody gets taken out, they're gone, and those snipers, they can take anyone out in basically 2 shots. So fire in a straight line against that wall when you have a bunch of bots all lined up, so you maximize that damage, and then obviously using your super, make sure you're doing that as well. Here you can see us finishing up this match. I'm doing my best to stay alive, but it was only a matter of time before I got taken out. Here we end up at wave 30 at 7 minutes and 1 second, it looks like. Such a great match. Didn't reach my record of 7 minutes and 32 seconds using this map and this combo, but it's really strong. And the crazy thing is that you can see that we were basically free-to-play players. You know, we both me and Pig did not have max brawlers, and it's a great combo for basically anybody to use. Really strong. Ended up winning 2,280 gold. That's 22 brawl boxes right off the bat. Such a great combination, lots of gold to win there, and a ton of fun. If you're able to beat that 7 minutes and 32 seconds, I want to know what combo you used, and if you guys did the same strategy or something different. Please drop a line in the comment section below so that I know that. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. For more videos on Brawl Stars and strategy guides like this, I will definitely be doing that. So for now, this is Kairos time ticking by, and we will see you in the arena.